Hello! Today we are going to take you for a tour around the Tallinn Old Town.
We're gonna be focusing on the Tallinn city wall and the towers along it.
We're also gonna be taking a look at some viewing platforms.
And first of all, Emma is going to introduce the city walls and their history.
This is the Tallinn city wall. It is one of the best preserved defensive structures in Europe because over 1.85 kilometers out of the 2.4 kilometers has survived, along with 26 towers out of the 46 that were originally along the Tallinn city wall.
Barbican of the Viru Gate consisted of 8 gates and several towers, but as the entrances to the town widened, many of them were demolished. Instead of them, a horse-drawn tram was built connecting the old market to Kadriorg. Nowadays, only the corner towers are preserved, and now it is one of the busiest streets in Tallinn. Nearby are many shops and even a flower market.
We're here at Kik, which is the tallest tower among the towers on the Tallinn city wall. Kik itself means glance in the kitchen in German. Below the tower lie the bastions and passages that were built in the 17th and 18th century to conceal soldiers and their equipment from the enemy during wartime, but they were never used for their intended purpose. The bastions and passages were used as storage up until the 1980s. The tower itself was used to store gunpowder. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, the passages were populated by local homeless people. Today, Kik is a part of Tallinn City Museum, along with Maiden Tower, Stable Tower, and the Short Leg Tower.
We have arrived at Lühike Jalg, which translates to the short leg. And this narrow street was mainly used by pedestrians, and since the 19th century, the long and short leg were the only connections between Toompea and the lower town. Right now you can visit various attractions in the short leg, such as Adamson Eric's Art Museum, handicraft shops and boutiques. Short leg supposedly has many ghosts hanging around. The gate tower of the lower town was built at an important junction of roads, and this is the gate tower. The gate tower was controlled by town law, especially the lower town, and it allowed movement into the area of the town law and out of it. This is the Pikk Jalg, which translates to long leg, and this road was mainly used by carriages and horse riders. Long leg was originally built to allow a direct connection between Toompea and the harbour. Going uphill from there was a challenge for the horse, and the ride downhill reflected the coachman's skill. They screamed to avoid accidents between people and carriages. By the way, in the medieval times, the relationship between Toompea inhabitants and lower town inhabitants were not very friendly. That's why in the 15th century a wall was built to avoid conflicts between the two groups, so the long leg was separated. The lower part belonged to the lower towners and upper part to the upper town residents. The street was a bit useless then because it was surrounded by walls. That's why it has also been called the unreliability wall, but by now it has been demolished. This is the gate tower of the long leg, and it is one of Tallinn city wall's defensive towers. The gate tower of the long leg is located at the intersection of Long Leg, Rataskaevu Street and Nunna Street. The long leg has been used as an atelier by Olev Subi, Märt Poolmeister and Leonhard Lapin.
Behind me is the Great Coastal Tower that was built in the 14th century but destroyed in 1779. Originally it was only 100 meters away from the sea and it used to connect the long leg to the Tallinn city wall. But in the 16th century, when the syphilis, or also known as the Spanish smallpox, reached Eastern Europe, a separate smallpox house was built in front of the Great Coastal Tower to treat it. In the 16th century, the Fat Margaret Tower was added to the Great Coastal Tower, and it was added for additional defensive purposes. In some places, the walls are 5 meters thick, and all of the walls are lined with ports for cannons and handheld firearms. The tower itself was used for storage for gunpowder and weapons, but it was later turned into a a prison. And now it is known as the Maritime Museum, where you can enjoy a view of the old town from the rooftop cafe. There are two legends associated with the name Fat Margaret. The first one is of a lady who used to cook for the soldiers in the tower, but her cooking wasn't very good and the portions were extremely small, so the soldiers were left hungry. And so they decided to wall her up alive in the tower. And the second legend is of a boy named Herman and a lady named Margaret, and they used to stroll around in the old town together, but they would have to part ways at the end of the night because of a curse.
The Kohtuotsa viewing platform is located on the northeastern side of Toompea Hill, and it offers an amazing view over all the red tiled roofs of Old Town. On a regular summer day is packed with tourists, but if you come here in the morning you can find some peace. Tallinn used to be called Reval, and this name, according to a legend, came from when during a deer hunt a deer fell off this cliff, and in German Reval means deer fall, so that's where this name came from. The Patkuli viewing platform is located on the north side of Toompea Hill, and it used to be a great place to look out for potential threats coming from the Baltic Sea. Today you can see St. Olaf Church, and you can also see the train station. The stairway connecting Snelli Park and this platform consists of 157 steps, and it was built in 1903.
Behind me is the stable tower. It is named as such because of the stables that were located nearby when it was being built. In the 17th century, during the Swedish period, it was used as a prison. The conditions in there were cold, and the prisoners in there were kept in chains. And because of that, there were many complaints about the poor conditions. The city hall even considered closing the prison because of the complaints. As such, it is not surprising that there are many ghost stories related to the tower, and it is said that together with the neighboring towers, these are the most haunted places in the city. The Maiden's Tower is one of the most rebuilt towers in Tallinn. In addition to being used as a defensive building, many artists have also lived here, and in the 1980s a Maiden's Tower cafe was opened here. It is said that an old man dressed in black haunts the second floor of the tower, and in addition a young girl said to be buried between its walls is also said to be seen here. According to an old legend, this is the spot where a flag descended from the sky during the Danish invasion, and it was this flag that turned the course of the battle in favor of King Valdemar II. Later, the flag became the national flag of Denmark. Every year, on the 15th of June, the day of the Danish flag is celebrated here. The three sculptures of monks here are based on the ghosts of monks that are said to be seen praying here.